Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a while. I've been pretty busy. Hopefully I'm gonna get back on track and I'm gonna film like a bunch of videos and I will post every Sunday like I intended to in the first place. So today I thought that since I haven't done a lot of videos for the channel yet, I would do sort of like a Q&A, but I didn't want to do it like super stereotypical of like, oh, my name is, I come from, whatever. So I found this really interesting article from the Times about this study conducted by, wait, let me look it up quickly. Let me look like I know what I'm saying. By Arthur Aron, which is a study on how 36 questions lead to love, which obviously that's not the whole premise of the study. It's more of like how these 36 questions create a sort of intimacy between two strangers. And I thought that would be kind of like a fun twist on the typical like Q&A. Obviously I'm not going to answer all 36 questions, so I will pick the most interesting ones. There's 3 phases from least personal to more personal, and yeah, let's get to it. So let's start. I'm reading them off my phone. I don't know if you, I mean, obviously you can see it. So first one is, given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? Okay, I hate that question and I hate when anyone asks me that. I don't know, I feel like it's more of a pretentious question rather than a real question. But anyways, if I could have anyone, probably an author. I'm really obsessed with 1970s Latin American like magic realism and the boom in literature in that country in general. So I think Gabriel Garcia Marquez would be a good one. I really like Rubén Darío. He's my favorite poet. But yeah, so that's a bit of nerdy stuff for me. Okay, this one's kind of funny. Before making a phone call, do you ever rehearse what you're gonna say and why? I personally do, just because I really struggle with like, I feel like this is such a digital millennial kind of struggle, but yeah, I do rehearse it, especially if it's like to cancel an appointment or stuff like that. I'm just like, oh my god, what am I gonna say? Okay, I'm gonna practice like 3 times before, and then it never goes that way because obviously you're not gonna predict what the other person's gonna say, but it just makes you feel better, doesn't it? I feel like a lot of people do it and it's so stupid. Okay, I feel like that's enough of embarrassing myself in front of a camera about how I struggle calling people. Okay, this is the last one from the first set. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be? I think I would want to be more confident in myself. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the time I'm very insecure about what I say, or like I don't necessarily say what I'm thinking just because I don't know if it's going to be right, and it really shouldn't bother me whether it's right or wrong, and it doesn't really matter if someone else corrects you. Also, you're missing out on the opportunity of like saying something that is actually right, that's going to contribute to someone else's opinion or argument or whatever. And I feel like this particularly applies to me in like debates, and like when I'm talking to my friends about a specific thing, or even in class like seminars and stuff, I will not say something that I actually think just because I'm scared of it. And I think you miss out on a lot of opportunities like that if you're not like confident in yourself and confident in what you believe in. So let's leave that as set 1 and move on to set 2. Oh, if a crystal ball, I've only read the first word by the way, and I was already like, okay. If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, future, or anything else, what would you want to know? I don't know. I think it's tricky. It's always like, do I want to know about the future? But really, like, do you? Because it would influence you in such a way that you would always try to strive for either that or strive for a completely different thing. And I think the future is completely dependent on how you act now. So you wouldn't, I just think that wouldn't be very useful. So the truth about yourself, that one is interesting. But I don't know if I would want to discover the truth about myself by myself. That's such a magical moment that you want to have for yourself, and that you kind of don't want to have someone else tell you that, I feel like. What do you value most in a friendship? Okay, I feel like this is a very good one, especially for young people, that especially for me, that I keep like moving right now between countries. I think there are some key things that I look for in friends, or that I strive to have in my friendships, because I want to keep them long term, and I don't want them to be for only a year, which I think is quite a hard thing to do. So I think I value honesty the most. Yeah, like I just want to be able to trust someone and know that they're not gonna just like let me be, or lie to me, or not be there for me when I'm gonna be there for them. If I'm giving my 100% in a friendship and I'm investing everything because I love that person so much and I'm like, you're worth it, then I want them to be the same way with me. If that's not how you feel, like obviously we can be friends, but we're not gonna be super good friends. I feel like this was a bit of a mess of an answer. How do you feel about your relationship with your mother? This is such a personal question, by the way. No, I love my mom. She works a lot, and I feel we always complain about it to her, but obviously she loves her job. She does a very like fulfilling job, morally and in terms of helping people, and I think that's really, really cool. So it completely justifies the fact that she absolutely loves it and she works so much, and it's totally fine. And she still makes time for the family, and she definitely, like, they live abroad, so when we go back to Spain to see the family, she absolutely always makes sure that we spend time with everyone, and she's very caring, and we've always had like a really good relationship. Like, I don't think we've always really fought or anything. I wasn't like a very hard teenager, I don't feel like. I've always been like pretty like good girl, tame girl. So yeah, that's kind of like my relationship with my mother. It's not very interesting at all. We have a good relationship, essentially, is the answer to that question. All right, let's move on to the last section. Okay, this is a good one. What, if anything, is too serious to be joked about? I think this is particularly relevant now with like Generation Snowflake. It's such a huge effect. People get offended by everything, and sometimes comedy, it can be offensive, but at the same time it's still comedy, you know what I mean? Like, obviously there are some things that maybe shouldn't be joked about, but I don't think we should draw a line between what should be comedy and what shouldn't be comedy. And I think comedy about some themes is particularly useful in moving on from those themes. I think it acknowledges that they're wrong in a way that makes them more relatable to us, more accepted by us, accepting that it wasn't the right thing. Like if you make jokes about World War II or things like that, I think it acknowledges that it happened. It acknowledges that we all think that what happened was terrible and horrible, but it also brings light to the situation, coming to terms with it, learning from it. Because I think if you don't talk about those things, and if the way to talk about it is in a light way or in a comedic way, then I think it's better than not talking about it at all. If you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone? Why haven't you told them yet? Probably telling like my family that I love them. This sounds so like so like stereotypical, whatever, but I'm really bad at doing that. I'm really bad at like expressing my emotions with like my family and stuff. I really struggle with being like, I love you, whatever, thank you. Yeah, that's probably why. That's such a personal thing to say. I'm sorry. But I mean, that was the point of the test, and I'm gonna stop it there. I hope you enjoyed. It's kind of like a different sort of Q&A. Obviously, it's way more personal. It's super different. Hopefully you fell in love with me. You know, like, subscribe, comment down below your answers to the questions if you enjoyed it. Try to answer some of these questions. I'll link the article down below because it's actually pretty interesting to think about these things, not only in front of a camera, but to yourself personally, or not to other people, because it's also important to fall in love with yourself, because you're also a dope person and you should love hanging out with yourself and be with yourself. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Hope it wasn't too cringy. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.